You know what the K-pop community desperately needs? A volume button. Okay, let's get real for a second. K-pop isn't this magical land where every idol is a flawless, godlike being that walks on clouds while the fan cams play Beethoven in the background. Surprise, surprise. Some of these idols are not the second coming of perfection, no matter how hard their fan bases try to convince us. Hello again, Rosieries to my channel. Please buckle up, because I'm about to hit you with some takes that'll probably have you clutching your light sticks in shock. But hey, if you're tired of the same recycled praise and all the drama-filled nonsense that's passed as protection, then you've come to the right place. Let's dive in and make K-pop a little less shiny and a lot more real. You know what the K-pop community desperately needs? A volume button. Because some of y'all are out here yelling your opinions like they're gospel, when you haven't even read a basic article, watched a video longer than 10 seconds, or opened a Google tab. Like, how are you confidently wrong and aggressively loud about it? Whether it's confidently mispronouncing Korean names, defending perpetrators because they will always be your oppa or unnie, or my personal favorite, explaining cultural context to actual Koreans, the lack of shame is truly inspiring. No research, no nuance, no clue, just idiocy and ignorance. And let's not even get started on how people twist or completely downplay serious issues like racism in K-pop, just because it makes them uncomfortable. Suddenly a slur is just a word, and historical context becomes drama. Y'all will bend over backwards to protect your faves from accountability, but can't bend your brain to absorb even the most basic information. It's giving I read the headline and formed a whole thesis. Here's a wild thought. Not every conversation needs your input, especially when the input is pure nonsense marinated in arrogance. You don't have to tweet every thought. You don't have to comment under every video. Sometimes the most powerful thing a stan can do is nothing. Literally nothing. Log off. Breathe. Read. Learn. Reflect. Or just listen to people who actually know what they're talking about before running into the discourse like a bull in a cultural china shop. There's a big difference between having a voice and making noise, and some of y'all are out here sounding like broken Bluetooth speakers. So let me get this straight. Kiss of Life had one job, just one. All they had to do was log on, cut a cake, throw a few cute finger hearts, sing a happy birthday song for Julie, maybe cry a little, and log off. But instead, they said, you know what this wholesome birthday live is missing? A big, steaming plate of racial stereotypes. Like, are y'all okay? Blink twice if you're being held hostage by your own bad decisions. Because seriously, mocking Black culture in 2025? In this economy? With all the conversations, documentaries, essays, and literal cancellations we've gone through for the exact same thing over the past decade, and y'all still decided to serve Black caricature cosplay as the main dish of a birthday celebration? Girls, be for real. And don't hit me with the "they didn't mean it like that" defense. Intent does not erase impact. If you have to punch down and mock marginalized communities to seem funny or cool, then congratulations. You're not funny, and you're definitely not cool. You're just giving high-budget, middle school bully energy. What's worse is that they were finally getting some positive buzz, slowly climbing out of nuggadom, and boom, self-sabotage button, pressed. It's like they saw support rolling in and said, wait, let's ruin that real quick. And of course, people are now crawling out of the woodwork with the usual, but they didn't know, or it's not that deep. Babe, if you don't know what's offensive by now, in the year of Beyoncé's holographic Renaissance tour, then I don't know what to tell you. Read a book, watch a video essay, phone a friend, literally do anything except perform microaggressions on live. There are a million ways to throw a cute, iconic, meme-worthy birthday live. But Kiss of Life chose the one that nobody asked for and everybody cringed at. So yes, they owe an apology. Not just a notes app, we were unaware cop-out, a real, educated, genuine apology. And maybe, just maybe, they should celebrate birthdays next time by giving the gift of common sense. Oh look, it's another self-appointed Twitter philosopher hammering out threads like they're submitting their ethics thesis to the United Nations, except with worse grammar and more emojis. These are the fans who treat K-pop discourse like it's the Met Gala of moral superiority, strutting down the timeline in self-righteous couture, armed with buzzwords like problematic, educate, and do better. Bonus points if they quote tweet someone minding their business and turn it into a 12-part thread no one asked for. But let's not pretend this is about real ethics. It's about who can get the most likes while pretending to hold others, accountable. They say it's for awareness, but the second their fave is caught being messy, they hit us with, "We don't know the full story. Don't spread misinformation." And my personal favorite, "They're just human." Suddenly, all that morality evaporates, like a K-pop line distribution for the main dancer. These people don't want justice. They want clout in a socially acceptable outfit. They want to be seen as fair and principled until fairness threatens their stand card. Then it's backpedal city, population, them. They're not fighting the good fight. They're fighting to stay on top of the engagement charts. And honestly, that's scarier than a bad live vocal. If I wanted to be guilt-tripped and side-eyed, I'd just sit next to a church elder in a crop top. Y'all need to log off, touch some grass, and maybe be real for once. Let's be honest, this was not the plot twist of 2025. If you've been paying attention to K-pop for more than 5 minutes, you'd know that YG artists offending Black people is practically tradition at this point. It's like they treat Black culture like a trendy jacket. They love wearing it, flaunting it, strutting down the comeback runway with it, but when it comes to actual respect for the people who built that culture, crickets, static, not even a fake apology in sight. And then, like clockwork, here come the blinks in full denial mode. The mental gymnastics these people do could win Olympic medals. Oh, it was a long time ago. They didn't mean it like that. They were young. Why are you bringing up old stuff? Oh, so now time travel erases accountability? It doesn't matter when it happened. You don't get a free pass just because the offense was committed during the dinosaur era of K-pop. Wrong is wrong, whether it happened yesterday or back when people were still using MP3 players. Saying a slur doesn't expire like milk. It's not suddenly okay because it aged like fine wine. It aged like spoiled yogurt, and it still stinks. Like, babe, we're not asking Blackpink to do calculus. We're asking them to take accountability in saying a racial slur. The bar is so low, it's basically underground. And yet, here we are. And look, Rosé has been my bias for years. But when I heard her say the N-word, I wasn't just disappointed. I was tired. Exhausted. Black fans have been having the same conversation since the Big Bang days. No pun intended. It's not rocket science. Just don't say the word. Especially if you're not Black. Especially if you've built your career mimicking a culture you clearly don't understand. And don't even get me started on the internalized chaos happening in this fandom, the pick-me Black stans rushing to defend her like she pays their Wi-Fi bill. Embarrassing behavior. Stop handing out N-word passes like it's candy on Halloween. You're not being chill or unbothered. You're enabling ignorance that actively disrespects you and your history. They'll copy your braids and twerk moves but still see you as a footnote. Wake up. And to the non-Black stans who love chirping, it's just a word, or you guys are too sensitive. Please log off. You don't get to tone police the people actually affected by that word. Sit down, be quiet, and try something radical. Listening. Let me be clear. This isn't about cancel culture or digging up dirt for clout. This is about accountability. Words mean things. History matters. And if your fave messes up, you can still like them while acknowledging they did something wrong. It's called nuance. Look it up. I really do hope they've learned from this. And not in that sorry you were offended kind of way, but in the wow, I actually understand why this is harmful and I'll do better kind of way. Because trust me, Black K-pop fans aren't asking for much. We just want basic respect. That's it. That's the tweet. Ah, yes, the honorary sole citizens of Twitter, armed with 3 K-dramas, 2 mukbangs, and a sprinkle of variety show clips, they're now certified experts in Korean culture. These are the same people who watched one Chaebol romance and suddenly think they understand Confucianism, the military draft, and intergenerational trauma. You ask them where Gyeonggi-do is, and they'll confidently say, "That's the name of a skincare brand, right?" It gets worse when they start correcting actual Koreans about their own culture. Like, bestie, are you really trying to out-Korean a Korean because of a crash landing on you scene you half-watched while scrolling TikTok? You'd think they did a cultural immersion program, but in reality they just watched a subtitled fan cam and Googled, "Why do Koreans bow?" Understanding culture isn't about romanticizing hanboks and side dishes. It's about history, nuance, and, I don't know, listening to actual Koreans. But no, Ms. K-Drama 101 is here to tell you why Korean etiquette means idols can't breathe without bowing at a 90-degree angle. It's not cultural appreciation, it's main character syndrome with a side of delusion. Let's retire the fake PhDs in Korean studies, please. Your Netflix subscription isn't a degree. Oh boy. Where do we even begin with Kim Soo-hyun's press conference? Oh, boo-hoo! If there were an award for most unnecessary drama at a press conference, he'd win it hands down. Seriously, if his goal was to make everything worse, then mission accomplished. The whole thing was a masterclass in how to not handle a scandal, honey. If there were an Academy Award for How to Make Things Worse 101, Kim Soo-hyun would have given a speech complete with tissues and dramatic pauses. Truly, he's the undisputed princess of PR nightmares. I mean, who thought that crying on stage and waving around forensic evidence would magically make people believe you? Oh, but guess what? No, it didn't. It just made the whole situation feel like an audition for a very poorly scripted soap opera. But wait, it gets better. Instead of addressing the actual allegations head-on, Soo-hyun decided to throw Kim Se-ron under the bus. And not in a subtle let's clear this up and move on kind of way. No, he practically set up a whole circus of blame shifting and victim playing. It was almost like he was trying to turn the tables on everyone. Like, look, I'm not the problem, it's her. Can you imagine the public reaction? People watching this were probably like, wait, are we at a press conference or a high school drama competition? Oh, and let's not forget his heartfelt emotional display. You know the one. Eyes all watery, voice trembling, and hands clasped as if he was about to reveal his deepest, darkest secret. Too bad it felt more like a well-rehearsed scene than a spontaneous moment of sincerity. I swear, if he had a cue card off-screen, it wouldn't have been a surprise. But hey, who wouldn't buy a ticket to watch this emotional roller coaster? Right? No? Now, let's talk fallout, because TMZ wasted no time serving the cold, hard statements to the international crowd. Because what better way to handle a scandal than to have your name plastered all over that kind of coverage? Oh, and Prada? I'm innocent, I swear. It was like watching a bad magic trick. Blink, and he's vanished. Guess even luxury brands have standards. Turns out, being associated with a hot mess is not the brand image they're going for. Who knew? So, yeah. Regardless of whether the allegations were true or not, one thing's for sure. Soo-hyun's handling of this whole thing was about as professional as a 3 a.m. Instagram live after a few too many drinks. He definitely managed to make a bad situation worse, and if his goal was to destroy his career, then congratulations, my friend. You're on the right track. Oh, the classic fan who thinks they own their fave's entire existence. You know the type. The ones who think it's their personal mission to dictate every single move their idol makes. Oh, you wore that outfit? TS, you're not allowed to look like that. You need to focus on your career and stop dating. You're supposed to be my Unnie or Appa. Like, honey, I hate to break it to you, but you're not the manager, the stylist, or even the unpaid intern. They're not your puppet. And let's be real, this is borderline anti-fan behavior. you're literally taking away the one thing they've still got: their ability to live their own life without someone in the background screaming, "But the fans want this." It's not the fans' life to control. Do you think they wake up every day and say, let me just do everything exactly the way my fan base wants so I can keep their approval? No, they don't. They're human beings with feelings, tastes, and a desire to eat, breathe, and wear things that aren't dictated by your never-ending, unhinged demands. So, yeah, if you're the type to sit there and say, "They shouldn't eat that, it's bad for their image," or "I don't like that outfit, they better change it before I cry on Twitter," you're basically the same as the anti-fan posting a hate-filled message about them. You're taking away their freedom just like the trolls are, except you're hiding behind the mask of concerned fan, when really, you're just trying to turn them into a marionette. So congrats, you're officially worse than the people sending them hate. How's that for irony? My goodness. Nah, but what? Not the "we're not like those fans" brigade. These self-proclaimed saints of stan culture will bend over backwards to let you know just how non-toxic their fandom is. "We're mature, we just stream and mind our business." Said right before they dive headfirst into someone's DMs with a 6-paragraph essay on why their fave could never be problematic, actually. They love to peacock their virtue like it's a limited edition photo card. The moral superiority is louder than a light stick at a stadium show. But let their fave breathe in the wrong direction, and suddenly they're serving unseasoned Twitter threads about nuance and intent, weaponizing buzzwords like it's Olympic fencing. These people go from Zen monk to keyboard warrior faster than an encore stage. What makes them extra terrifying is the covert toxicity. They're not throwing chairs like some fans. No, they're smiling sweetly while slipping a knife in your back with a "just educating, no hate though." Gaslighting? Oh, they're giving masterclass level performances. The type to start a fire, then host a fundraiser for the ashes. And the funniest part? They genuinely believe they're better. Like, sweetie, you're not sipping tea, you are the tea. And it's bitter. You can't claim peace and enlightenment while simultaneously ratioing a stranger over a fan cam. If being fake humble was an Olympic sport, they'd win gold, gaslight the judges, then deny ever entering. I just keep quiet and let the clowns clown. The intellectual elites of K-pop, armed with 5 Google searches, 2 psychology woke power phrases, and the unshakable belief that their opinion is the only one that matters. These are the fans who flex their critical thinking like it's a gym membership and immediately launch into a full academic dissertation anytime someone says, "I liked the song." Now don't get it twisted. I love a fan who uses common sense. It's refreshing. But the problem starts when they crown themselves the spokesperson for all logic and start presenting their hot takes like they're peer-reviewed journal articles. Suddenly, their opinion becomes the truth, and if you so much as disagree, you're labeled as biased, delusional, or, heaven forbid, not intellectually evolved. Babe, calm down. You're not defending a thesis. You're mad someone thinks differently than you. These people are just as unhinged as the blind followers they claim to be smarter than. Except instead of screaming "stan talent," they're out here emotionally combusting because someone dared to say, "I don't think that's entirely true." You can't critique them. They'll say you're attacking their character. They treat any challenge like it's a personal vendetta and cry about misinformation while quoting themselves as the source. For goodness sake, having a brain doesn't mean you're right all the time. Opinions aren't facts, and thinking differently isn't a hate crime. Let people live, Einstein. This isn't a debate club. It's pop music. Relax. Oh, the hero complex of some fans is just chef's kiss, isn't it? Every time an idol does something really dumb, you can count on a few die-hard fans to swoop in like they're auditioning for a role in a Marvel movie. No, it's okay, guys. I'll defend them. They didn't mean it. We all make mistakes. Let me put on my cape and save the day. Yeah, no, please don't. The only thing you're saving is their ego. And frankly, we all know that's the last thing they need right now. When idols do something that deserves a little bit of karma, whether it's disrespectful behavior, clumsy comments, or a choice in fashion that nobody asked for, sometimes the best thing you can do is zip it and let them face the music. I know, shocking concept, right? Let them deal with the consequences of their actions. Gasp. I know it's hard to believe, but idols are actually grown adults who can take responsibility for their actions. No, they don't need you as their personal PR team every time they screw up. That's not how the world works, babe. What's even worse is when fans rush in with excuses that are just as bad as the mistake itself. Well, it's not their fault, they're just misunderstood. Oh, so now we're all psychic, huh? We're deciphering cryptic idol behavior like we're reading tea leaves? No, they messed up, that's what happened. And guess what? That's okay. We're all human. And sometimes, facing the consequences is the only way to actually grow. If you keep defending them every time they fall into a pile of their own mess, you're just telling them, hey, go ahead, make mistakes. I've got your back, even if you don't learn anything from it. And guess what? They won't learn. Ever. It's like this weird, noble cause that fans take up, thinking they're doing the world a favor by defending an idol who said something problematic or did something dumb. Like, please, let them take their lumps. They won't die, they won't disappear into oblivion. They'll live to sing another day, hopefully having learned that actions have consequences. You defending them like a knight in shining armor? Yeah, that's not helping anyone, least of all them. So instead of playing superhero, maybe sit this one out. You can still be a fan without acting like you're personally responsible for their redemption arc. And alright, that's it for this so-called groundbreaking video. If you somehow survived my opinions and didn't throw your phone out the window, go ahead and like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell, because apparently that's what we're all supposed to do now. Don't worry, I'll be back with more content to either make you laugh or leave you questioning your life choices. Until next time, or whenever I feel like it, catch you later. Or not. Bye!